Today we got so much lined up for you right here on a comprehensive news bulletin, from matters politics to the corridors of justice, and also an update with regards to the latest figures on how the spread of COVID-19 is coming along. Now we want to begin straight away at the corridors of justice. Now remember the two rugby players, Alex Alaba and Frank Wanyama, who were found guilty of gang raping a female musician. Just a case that was there a few months ago, and they were slapped a 15 years jail term. Now the latest updates, as we receive from our reporter Sarafina Robi, is that that sentence has been quashed. Now the reason why this is happening, and more coming from the corridors of justice, she's joining us now live just to give us an update on what has been happening at the courts this morning. A very good afternoon, Sarafina. Kindly bring us up to speed with the latest, happenings with regards to this case that touch on the two rugby players, and what you also gather from the corridors of justice today.
A very good afternoon, Safina. Coming to you live from the Milimani Law Courts here in Nairobi. But it has been a little bit dramatic in the past few minutes. But earlier on, we were able to follow up on a number of cases that have been happening here at the Milimani Law Courts, including plea takings, hearings, and judgments that have happened today on Tuesday here at the Milimani Law Courts. Some of the key cases that we've been able to follow up include a case that involves a KRA, that is Kenya Revenue Authority Manager Joseph Gikonyo, and his wife Lucy Kanangi, who have been accused of a tax evasion amounting to about 38 million shillings from the accrued investments across the country. But the prosecution was able to defend their case, saying that, or the prosecution was able to table their case whereby they say that if indeed the accused is Joseph Gikonyo and the wife were to be released on bail, which they were seeking today before Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi, then they'll have to be given bail that commensurates to the amount, to the same amount. And if indeed they were to be released on a bail, then they were not allowed to come into contact with either of the witnesses, given that they have been working at the Kenya KRA, Kenya Regulatory Authority, where they have been told that if they are released on bail, then they should not come into contact with either of the witnesses, and also that if they are to be released on cash bail, then it should commiserate to the same amount. Whereby their defense lawyer Esmeralda also spoke to the same amount, saying that the prosecutors were kind of trying to criminalize the whole issue, and therefore also given that they had also said that if they were to be released on cash bail, then their travel documents, that is their passports, should be taken. The defense lawyer was able to talk to the magistrate, saying that this was not really the case, given that anyone who takes plea in the court, their travel documents are not taken away. During the ruling that was given by the magistrate, who is Lawrence Mugambi, they were able to be given a cash bail of 5 million shillings and an alternative one of about 10 million shillings, saying that also directing the prosecution to ensure that they table all their evidences within 7 days, and also giving directions that all their passports, that they should give their passports or their travel documents. Also, another case that we were able to follow up involves a case that involves two former rugby players who are Alex Alaba and Alex Alaba and Frank Wanyama, who had earlier on been accused of a case that involved whereby they had been the sentence that had been given a judgment whereby of about 15 years imprisonment that has been quashed today, and there will be fresh trial in regards to the case, which happened later on, whereby Alex Alaba and Frank Wanyama had been found guilty of gang raping a young female musician at their apartment and were handed a 15 years jail sentence. Well, this is one of the cases that we're still following up, so as to get the clear documents from their lawyers, so as to get to know some of the details that they are able to present, to a point that the terms that had been given earlier on were able to be quashed. And also, other cases are still ongoing here at the Milimani Law Courts, and we're still following up. And we'll be able to give you more details in regards to this. But as of now, those are the two cases that we have followed up here at the Milimani Law Courts, which involve the KRA manager, Joseph Gekonyo, and the wife, Lucy Kanangi, and also the two rugby players who are Alex Alaba and Frank Wanyama. Also, a lot of drama has been happening here at the Milimani Law Courts, but we will not be able to comment on that, given that we do not have the required documents to know if indeed some of the allegations that have been put across are true or false. Back to you, Safin.